Let me ask you something. If I told you that you could start lowering your blood pressure in the next 5 minutes without taking another pill, spending $1, or leaving your house, would you try it? Because that's exactly what I'm going to show you. In just a moment, I'll teach you 2 completely free techniques that may help lower your blood pressure within minutes. If you have a home blood pressure monitor, I want you to check your reading before you begin. Then, try these techniques and check it again afterward. You may be surprised by what you see. But here's what really caught my attention. Most people believe high blood pressure starts when the numbers on the monitor become too high. Doctors now know that's often the last step in a much longer process. Your arteries may be changing quietly for years before your blood pressure ever crosses into the danger zone. So today, I'll show you not only how to help lower your blood pressure quickly, but also why it may have become high in the first place, and the simple daily habits that support healthier blood pressure over time. Don't skip the end of this video, because the final habit is completely free, takes less than 10 minutes a day, and many of my patients say it's the easiest change they've ever made for their heart health. Before I explain what's really driving high blood pressure, let's do the first technique together. It's simple. Sit comfortably with both feet on the floor and relax your shoulders. Now breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Then breathe out slowly through your nose for 6 seconds. Keep repeating that pattern for 2 to 5 minutes. Why does something this simple work? Think of your nervous system like a car. It has an accelerator that speeds your heart up when you're under stress, and it has a brake pedal that helps your heart slow down and relax. The problem is that many people spend most of their day with one foot on the accelerator, worrying about bills, family, work, poor sleep, or health problems. A slow, longer exhale helps activate your body's natural brake pedal, allowing your heart and blood vessels to relax. For some people, that can lead to a modest drop in blood pressure within minutes. Now here's the question. If your blood pressure improves after just a few minutes of breathing, what does that tell us? It tells us that blood pressure isn't only about age or bad luck. Something inside your body is influencing it. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next, because most people are treating the number on the blood pressure monitor while completely missing what's causing it to rise in the first place. Now let me ask you a question. What if high blood pressure isn't the real problem? What if it's actually your body's warning light? Think about the dashboard in your car. When the oil warning light comes on, you don't remove the bulb and pretend everything is fine. You look for what's causing the warning. Blood pressure works much the same way. Many people focus only on getting the numbers down. And while controlling blood pressure is very important, it's equally important to ask why those numbers became elevated in the first place. One common reason is that your arteries gradually become less flexible with age. Healthy arteries expand and relax with every heartbeat, allowing blood to flow smoothly. But when arteries become stiffer, your heart has to push harder to move blood through them. That's when blood pressure can begin to rise. The encouraging news is that artery health isn't determined by age alone. Everyday habits, like what you eat, how well you sleep, how active you are, and how you manage stress, can all influence how healthy your blood vessels remain over time. But what causes those arteries to become stiff in the first place? Many people blame salt. The truth is, one of the biggest drivers may be hiding somewhere completely different, and once you understand it, managing your blood pressure starts to make much more sense. Now here's something that surprises many people. What if the biggest trigger for high blood pressure isn't the salt shaker on your table, but the sugar hidden in your everyday meals? Most people think of sugar only as a blood sugar problem. But your body sees it differently. Every time you eat large amounts of sugary foods or refined carbohydrates, your body releases insulin, a hormone that helps move sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells. That's perfectly normal. The problem begins when insulin stays high day after day, year after year. Researchers have found that chronically elevated insulin may contribute to changes in the body that are associated with higher blood pressure. It can influence how the kidneys handle sodium and fluids, and over time it may affect the health and flexibility of your blood vessels. Think of it like watering a garden hose with too much pressure. Over time, the hose becomes harder to manage. Your blood vessels can experience similar long-term stress when several risk factors build up together. That's why many doctors encourage people to reduce sugary drinks, sweets, and highly processed foods, not just for blood sugar, but for overall heart health. But there's another hidden cause that almost nobody talks about. In fact, you could be eating a healthy diet and still struggle with high blood pressure if you're missing one essential mineral. And it's more common after age 60 than most people realize. Chapter 3. The mineral that helps your blood vessels relax, almost equals 200 words. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a painful leg cramp? Or noticed your muscles feel unusually tight for no clear reason? Most people blame getting older. But sometimes, your body is trying to tell you something. One nutrient that has received a great deal of attention in blood pressure research is magnesium. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. When the muscles around the hose are relaxed, water flows easily. But when those muscles tighten, the space inside the hose becomes narrower, making it harder for blood to pass through. Magnesium helps those muscles, including the smooth muscles surrounding your arteries, relax and function normally. That's why people who don't get enough magnesium may have a harder time maintaining healthy blood pressure. The good news is that you don't always need a supplement. Magnesium is found naturally in foods like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, beans, and other leafy green vegetables. If you're considering a magnesium supplement, especially if you have kidney disease or take medications, it's important to discuss it with your healthcare provider to make sure it's appropriate for you. But even if you're getting enough magnesium, one simple habit could be working against everything you're trying to do. And the surprising part is, it has nothing to do with food. It happens while you're asleep. Now let me ask you something. Do you wake up feeling tired, even after spending 7 or 8 hours in bed? If you do, your blood pressure may be getting pushed higher while you're asleep. One condition doctors pay close attention to is sleep apnea. This happens when breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. Many people don't even realize they have it. Instead, they think they're just getting older or not sleeping well. Here's why it matters. Every time your breathing pauses, your body senses a drop in oxygen. In response, it releases stress hormones that make your heart work harder and your blood vessels tighten. If this happens night after night, it can make controlling blood pressure much more difficult. Common signs include loud snoring, waking up gasping for air, morning headaches, dry mouth, and feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep. If any of those sound familiar, it's worth discussing them with your healthcare provider. And it may surprise you because it doesn't come in a bottle. It comes from sunlight. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend outside during the day? If you're like many adults over 60, the answer is probably not very much. Here's why that matters. When sunlight reaches your skin, your body releases small amounts of a natural substance called nitric oxide that's stored in the skin. Nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax and widen, making it easier for blood to flow. For some people, this may lead to a small, temporary reduction in blood pressure. Sunlight also helps your body produce vitamin D, another nutrient that's important for overall heart and blood vessel health. Now, this doesn't mean you should spend hours in the hot sun. A short period of safe sun exposure, appropriate for your skin type, the weather, and your healthcare provider's advice, may be enough for many people. Always avoid sunburn, because too much sun increases the risk of skin damage and skin cancer. Think about it. Something as simple as taking a short morning walk outdoors combines gentle exercise, stress relief, fresh air, and sunlight, all of which support healthy blood pressure. But if you really want to give your heart the best chance, the next chapter brings everything together into one simple daily routine that takes just a few minutes to follow. Now let's put everything together. But together they can make a meaningful difference over time. Here's a simple routine you can start today. When you wake up, spend 2 to 5 minutes practicing the slow breathing exercise we did earlier. Then, if you're able, take a 10-minute walk outdoors to enjoy some sunlight, fresh air, and gentle movement. At your meals, fill half your plate with vegetables, choose fruits, beans, nuts, or whole grains when possible. and try to cut back on sugary drinks and heavily processed foods. In the evening, aim for a regular bedtime and create a quiet, relaxing routine to help improve your sleep. Finally, if you monitor your blood pressure at home, check it at about the same time each day and keep a record to share with your healthcare provider. Looking at trends over time is much more useful than worrying about a single reading. But before you leave, there's one final message every person with high blood pressure needs to hear. Because this one mistake could put your health at risk. Before we finish, I want to leave you with one important reminder. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer, because it usually doesn't cause symptoms until serious damage has already been done. That's why it's so important not to rely on how you feel. The numbers matter. The breathing exercise, healthy eating, regular movement, good sleep, and safe sunlight we've discussed today can all support healthy blood pressure. But they work best when they're practiced consistently, not just when your numbers are high. And if you're already taking blood pressure medication, never stop or change it on your own. These lifestyle habits are meant to support your treatment plan, not replace it. Always work with your healthcare provider to decide what's best for you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these free techniques are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments below. Your experience could encourage someone else who's trying to take better care of their heart. I am Dr. Harrison Black. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next evidence-based health guide designed especially for adults over 50. Thank you for watching, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.